Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sofia University's PhD in Transpersonal Psychology information session. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Elizabeth Gill, and I'm an admissions counselor at Sofia. I'm joined here today with my colleagues and the chair of the PhD program, who I will introduce in just a moment. We will start our information session with the introduction of our chair, who will then give their PowerPoint presentation. We can answer any questions at the end of the PowerPoint, but please feel free to ask any questions in the chat during the presentation. Now, let us begin our introduction. I am pleased to introduce our program chair, Dr. Robert Wood. Dr. Wood oversees our bachelor completion as well as the MA and PhD programs in transpersonal psychology. He has earned several degrees, including an MA in transpersonal psychology from Naropa University and a PhD in psychology with a concentration in transpersonal psychology from ITP, now known as Sofia. Dr. Wood resides in Utah and has previously taught finance at both the University of Utah and the University of Oregon. After a life-changing event, he pursued a spiritual path that led him to study shamanism and transpersonal psychology. I'll now turn it over to Robert.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and welcome to all of you. Thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to learn about this program. And feel free, as Elizabeth said, to just put your any questions you've got as we're going through the slides in the chat, and I'll try to keep my eye out for that as well. So what we're going to be talking about today is the PhD program in transpersonal psychology at Sofia University. I'm not going to read all of the slides to you, but I would like, with your permission, to read this one to you, because what we offer at Sofia is unique in that it is a transpersonal education. And it's meant to open many doors leading to many rooms. Imagination thrives when sensual experience joins with reason, when illusion links to reality, when intuition couples with intellect, and when passion of the heart unite with those of the mind. When knowledge gained in one discipline opens doors to all the rest. The point of education must be to create whole people who, through their wholeness, can focus the accumulated wisdom of human experience into the illuminated patches of splendor. We really do try at Sofia, and even in a PhD program, to have the education be transformative as well as transpersonal. You will gain something. You'll be different when you complete the program than you were when you started it, and not only because you've gained knowledge. Since it is a PhD program, it is more intellectual than like our master's program, which is more experiential. But you will have, there will be experiential components as well. The PhD program was founded in 1975, so we're coming up on 50 years of history. And I'd like to say that we at Sofia are really the keepers of the flame of transpersonal psychology. It was ignited and started by the founders of what was then the Institute of Transpersonal Psychology, and we've fanned that flame, we've fed it, it has grown, and it still thrives today. You know, you will earn a real PhD degree, even though this is largely online as a program, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. You'll still be able to, you'll learn several methods, and you can read these things that I've got on the screen now in our catalog, but you really will be able to research. You will have opportunities to do lots of research, and your dissertation will in fact be unique and research that has never been done before will be being done by you. So you have an awesome faculty. And as I look at these faces, these are people who I care deeply about and have been working with for several years. But each one of these people brings something very unique to our program. And you'll have opportunities to take courses from all of them, and then you'll select one of these people to be the chair of your dissertation. And then there'll be others on your dissertation committee who can come even from outside of Sofia. So let's talk about what the program is like. So there's the program basically divides into 3 parts. You take 75 total hours of quarter hours of credit to earn a PhD. That will take you about 3 years to complete, depending on how many courses you take per term. That'd be like at a pace of 2 courses per term. Those 75 hours basically divide into 3 groups. There's the foundational courses, which I'm going to show you right now. There's elective courses, and there's dissertation courses. So the foundational courses are these courses. And they add up to 33 of your 75 hours are in the foundational courses. One of the big elements of the foundational course is the first thing listed there, and that's the residential seminars. During your 3 or so year experience, there'll be 2 seminars per year offered. So there'll be 6 seminars. Of those 6 seminars, you need to attend 4 of them. And we have in the fall, our seminars are in person at the Costa Mesa campus. And I would really encourage you to try to plan your schedule such that you can spend 2 of your 4 seminars at the in-person ones in Costa Mesa, if that's possible. In the springtime, we have virtual seminars. They're held on Zoom, and they're still amazing seminars, even though they're on Zoom. But there's nothing like that opportunity to be there in person, to meet your fellow classmates, and to meet your faculty and all. And we as faculty love being able to meet you in person. So you'll take over the course of the early classes that you take, you don't need to take all the foundational courses before you can take electives, but some electives have some of these foundational courses as prerequisites. So you'll take Foundations of Transpersonal Psychology, which is just the theoretical and philosophical foundations of transpersonal psychology. And one of the last courses you'll take is this Advanced Symposium in Transpersonal Psychology. That's to help bring everything together. You'll take lots of research classes. They'll be integral research skills, critical thinking and scholarly writing, qualitative research methods, quantitative research methods, and basic statistics. And then introduction to dissertation proposal writing. That's where in that course, you'll actually begin to write the proposal for your dissertation. So I skipped over psychology of cognition, affect, and consciousness. That's one of the substantive non-research courses. That and the Advanced Symposium and Foundations are really substantive philosophical sort of courses. And then we go on to, and again, that's 33 hours. By the time you do the 4 seminars and take all those classes, then you've done 33 credit hours. And in the elective courses, you'll have to take 24 credit hours of elective courses. And so that's 8 3-hour courses. So you can choose your electives in a way that you can have a concentration. You do not have to have a concentration. So you can take 8 random elective courses that are interesting to you. You'll still get a PhD, you just won't necessarily have a concentration. If you want a concentration in one of these 3 areas, there's a concentration in transpersonal psychology, then there are 4 electives that you must take. If you take those 4 electives, then you'll qualify for the concentration, and you'll have 4 other electives that you can take. There'll be a dream studies concentration. It's the same thing. There's 4 courses that you're required to take, and then you'd have 4 other elective courses. And a brand new concentration is research in psychedelic science. And again, the pattern is the same. There's 4 required courses, and then you'd have that concentration. You'd still have 4 elective courses to take. So let's look at each of these concentrations real quickly. In transpersonal psychology, these are the 4 courses that you would be required to take. The one is eco-spirituality, other is eco-psychology, then sustainability, culture and sacred ecology, and then nature-based programs and wholeness. So these programs these 4 courses, and then there's a capstone integration, which there's no credit given for the capstone integration, but it's you have to bring together everything you've learned from these 4 courses in like a PowerPoint or something, a presentation that you would give, but which is no big deal. You're happy to do it, I promise, by the time you get through these. But this, both this and the dream studies can also be taken independent of the PhD program. You could, if you were interested and you just wanted to study eco-psychology, you can get a certificate in transpersonal eco-psychology. And your requirement would just be these 4 courses and the capstone. So when you're taking these courses, if you're a PhD student, these courses are also cross-listed with the MATP program, the Master in Transpersonal Psychology. So you may have in your class with you, as your classmates, you may have some master's students, and you may have some students who are taking the course just for certificates. So you may have questions about that later, and we can talk about that. The dream study is the same thing. You have 4 classes to take. It's the psychology of extraordinary dreams, archetype symbols and myths. And then you can choose between these 2 courses, anomalous states of consciousness and PTSD, psychology and healing methods. You choose one of those. And then there's also another choice between transpersonal approaches to dreams and dreaming, and dream, dreaming, and dream work practicum, and then capstone integration. In this case, the capstone integration is actually a 1 credit course that you take. But also with the dream studies concentration, the dream studies, there is a standalone certificate. And I believe that we're having a presentation that's just about the Dream Study certificate that if you were interested, you could attend. But the essence of it is just like with the eco-psychology, you could come to Sofia and take just these 4 courses in the capstone, and you would get a certificate for Dream Studies. In Dream Studies, there's also master's and PhD students who are doing it as a concentration. And finally, the research in psychedelic sciences, it's a new program that's just been approved, and we were today actually assigned the numbers for these courses, so I should have updated the slides. Help me remember to do that, Elizabeth, if you would. But anyway, these are the courses, fundamentals of psychedelic science, psychedelic research method, psychedelics, mysticism and spirituality, and psychedelic research practicum. And like I said, this is also going to be a standalone certificate. And it so far, we've not decided to make it available to the master's students, so it would be only a PhD concentration and a standalone certificate. So if you decide to do no concentration, or if you do one of the concentrations, you still have more electives to take. Here's just a sample. It would take several slides to show you all of the electives, but here's a sample that you can look down and just get an idea for the kind of interesting courses that we're teaching. You know, transpersonal finance. You might think those two things don't go together at all, but Dr. Snow teaches this course, and it's one of the favorites of those who take the course. There's transpersonal leadership, aging, individualism, and wholeness across the lifespan, transformative learning theory, spiritual competencies. These are all, and like I said, this is maybe half of the list. Our catalog would have the whole list, but it's pretty fun stuff to study, I think. The other elective that we have is there's a 2-quarter elective, and it's a research practicum. And we've done this 4 times now for 4 years. And it's usually in the winter and spring that we do these 2 quarters. And this is a course that you have a prerequisite. You have to have taken some of the research courses before you get in here. But we articles that have resulted from this class, you meet once a week on Zoom and divide up responsibilities. People are researching different things. You do a mixed methods where there's an analytical part and a qualitative part, and they've written articles that have been published, and out of 4 classes, they've had 3 articles published. And some of the students who are writing, were in these courses, are writing follow-ups to these journal articles and have been individually published. So you can come out of the PhD program at Sofia with not only with your PhD and a dissertation, which will be published on ProQuest, but you may have an article published before your dissertation's even done if you take the research practicum course. So, you've got 33 hours of required courses or foundational courses, 24 hours of elective courses, and then we have 18 hours of dissertation courses. This is pretty unique for a PhD program, but we actually offer, instead of just saying, okay, you've taken all these required classes, we're now going to give you 18 hours of credit to go write your dissertation. We've actually broken it down into these 6 3-hour courses where we walk you along through your dissertation. We have a high percentage of our students actually do complete their dissertations. And that's not the case with all PhD programs. And I think in part, I attribute that to this unique method we have of walking you through the dissertation. So as you sign up for these classes, the first thing is you'll form your dissertation committee, and you'll finalize your proposal. You remember we talked about in the foundational courses, there was a course that we called the mini proposal course, and you'll begin writing your proposal there. In this course right here, you finish writing your proposal. And your chair of your committee is your teacher for the course, for all of the dissertation courses. So then you'll recruit participants and begin data collection. You'll collect the data and analyze it. You'll do analysis and writing. You'll do the final draft for review and the defense, and then completion and approval. And typically, a student will take one of these dissertation classes per term. They may be taking them alongside elective courses. But we have had some who've taken 2 of these courses per term and have actually completed their dissertation in 3 terms. I'm not recommending that. I'm just telling you we can accommodate the speed at which you want to go through the program. Most of our students, since it is an online program, most of our students work and they're kind of getting their education and doing this work in addition to carrying on a full-time job. So here's a Leonard Cohen quote: "There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in." So it will be, at times you'll feel like you're cracking, but that's good, because that means we're making progress and the light's getting in and you're learning something. So onward. That's the presentation. I can quit sharing this, and then maybe if you'd like, you can unhide yourself and unmute and ask any questions you may have.
Yeah, thank you so much, Robert. I know that was a lot of information, so I'll give everyone a moment to process. Please feel free to ask any questions in the chat now, or if you prefer, you may unmute yourself. If you have any questions. In the meantime, I have a question to begin with. Let's see. So what are some current research topics in the program? And will students have the opportunity to choose their own research topic for their dissertation?
Really good question. Yes, you will be able to choose your own topic. And the research topics are just as varied as you can imagine. Like one that was just completed was, about the experience of love, first time love in a young person's life. And, this interviewer or this dissertation student interviewed a lot of people, and it was supported with theories and all of that. But that was a really interesting topic. We've had topics about what it's like to be to be a minority person growing up in an environment that's not friendly, and finding different people who have had that experience and how they've coped with that. Um, it's just it's hard to imagine a topic that's not been written about in in our dissertations over the years.
What are the type of academic support services that are available to students?
Yeah, that is another really good question. We have uh, uh, one of the best writing labs, I think, that I know of in higher education, and students are welcome, encouraged to actually turn their papers into the writing lab before they turn it in their courses. And the writing lab will help you with all of the APA style sort of stuff, which we require in the PhD program that we use APA style, but they'll help with all of that and also, help you with the organization and the critical thinking element of your paper.
Yeah, I always rave about Dr. John Elfers. He is the head of the dissertation office. He's amazing as well. Always there for prospective students as well. If you ever want to speak with him about a dissertation topic, if you want to kind of hone in on that.
Yeah.
I think a question came in.
Yeah, just while you're reading that question for a second, maybe let me just say some more
Yeah.
about John Elfers. John
Yes.
is the one who developed the dissertation courses that I just showed you. That is kind of his brainchild. And he is really all about making sure everybody gets through their dissertation. What he does really well is he always teaches the mini proposal class, and that's kind of where you're coming up with the idea for your dissertation. He helps you make it something that you can actually accomplish. You have these big ideas and he'll help you refine it down to here's what a dissertation on that topic could look like. So I see Jess has asked about transformative leadership. Share, I don't have off the top of my head just, uh, uh, dissertation titles on that topic. I know we have dissertations that are on that topic, and that's something that we could get to you. If like if you want to let Elizabeth know your contact information or something, we can get to you a list of all of them on that topic.
Yeah, I know we do have a resource of dissertation topics that we have done here. But yeah, and definitely contact me and we can continue that conversation. Okay, let's see. I'm wondering if the university can help for transpersonal psychology PhD in combination with Vedic astrology. Ooh, we just entered Scorpio.
Yeah.
And I want
We have one of our professors, Kundan Singh, who is very well versed
in Vedic
in
astrology.
I don't know if he's in Vedic astrology, but
Mm.
he's very well versed in other things Vedic, and so he may know something about astrology too. But if he doesn't know, he will know someone who knows, and that is a resource that we can make available to you.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the place to dive deep into astrology, either Western or Vedic. And what's great about the dissertation committee is you can bring in outside people, correct, that are, experts in that field.
Yeah.
But yeah, sort of sky's the limit as far as dissertation topics. Yeah, I love that. I like Western astrology.
Yeah. He also has a question about scholarships and residential credits. Yeah, there are a certain number of credits that we may be able to transfer in. I think we're limited to transferring 9 credits from another university into our university. But we have students from all around the world. And in fact, we offer this program in Chinese in China. Uh, but we offer it in English to everybody else in the world. And we've had Indonesian students.
Yeah, and I actually in the chat, if you go up, I did link our scholarship page.
Good.
That's a great page for scholarships, also external resources. So I would definitely explore that. Yeah, but there are definitely some opportunities for that.
Yeah. And any other questions? That I feel bad that we dumped so much information, but that's an overview, and Elizabeth is certainly available she can answer 99% of your questions, and the ones she can't, she can find me. And between us, I think we can solve most of your concerns.
Yeah, I have another question. What are some of the typical career paths that a PhD alumni pursue? Because I know it's a non-clinical program, it won't lead to licensure.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of our students go on to teach, to be, in other universities. So that's and a few of them are like me are teaching at this university, so that's one of the career paths. But we've had uh, like hypnotists who have come through, to have transpersonal psychology, and they incorporate that uh, in their practice of hypnosis, and lots uh, of people who are doing life counseling or coaching or something like that. We can certainly help with that. Yoga, we've had a lot of yoga instructors whose clientele, want more out of it than yoga. We've had some that have gone out and started nonprofits. We have one that has does therapy with horses. It's just almost endless. The applications that this teaches you to be a better person and to help other people be better people. So anything you can think about where you're helping other people be better people, this is a great background for that.
Yeah, I love that. And going back to, I believe it's Depeche, his question, how would one go about selecting an advisor or a dissertation committee if he did want to kind of take in somebody that's more of a
Yeah.
expert in that field?
So you're the chair of your dissertation committee has to be one of the faculty. And so you don't need to pick that person, obviously, for a while. You'll have a chance to take classes from all the different faculty members, and the way it goes is you just hit it off with one of the faculty members. Here's somebody that's interested in the same kind of stuff that I'm interested in. Um, and then from there is a list of approved second persons. Your committee has 3 people, so then you can pick from that list of approved, and there'll be people that you know, they'll be either on the faculty or authors that you've read, someone, you know, that you're familiar with. And then the third person can be someone you introduce to us. And of course, you know, we'll have to interview them and make sure that they've got the right credentials and all that stuff. And they have to be a PhD. So all three members of the PhD committee have to be PhDs. But yeah, so that's how you go about doing that. And you really don't have to make that choice until you've finished writing your mini proposal. You know, you have up till then to say, all right, this is the person that I want to chair my committee. And everybody wants John because he teaches the
I want
mini
John.
proposal class, and
To be
he's a
part of that,
lovable
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he can only do so many, so he'll help you find somebody. Yeah,
He's a good resource.
yeah.
Does anybody else have any other questions? And if not, I can always be reached at admissions. Let me see. I have another question here. Yeah, so that's a good question. The estimated tuition cost and the fee. Hold on one moment. I believe our tuition didn't go up. So yeah, the PhD, it's still 75 total units. The estimated tuition cost is 71,450. You know what? I will enter into the chat. There is a separate fee chart you can kind of go through. There are some additional, small fees. There is that $75 application fee that will be waived since you're on this call. There's a $200 acceptance fee if you're admitted into the program. There's let me just make sure it didn't go up. So that it is $290. It's a student services fee. That's a quarterly fee, just to keep in mind. And when you are attending those in-person seminars, there is a seminar fee. And just to give you a little bit about the information, the modality of the program, so it's all online. The coursework is asynchronous. There are 2 seminars each academic year. The fall is in person and spring is virtual. So PhD students need to attend at least 4, and 1 must be in person. So when you are in person, there is a fee for that. And if you are out of the US, our International Student Office can support you for an F1 visa, during your seminar stay. But let me link the tuition and fee chart so you get more information about that. Okay, so I just added our tuition and fee page. There's a separate chart for tuition and fees. And I think I saw in the comment that you knew somebody at Sofia. If you are referred to Sofia, there is a $500 referral tuition discount, $500. And every time you refer a friend, there's also a $500 referral discount as well. Are there any other questions?
So how do they go about applying if they're interested, Elizabeth?
If you go in the chat, I did link the application. So if you go to our website, there's a apply now button. You can start that first application. I oversee the PhD program, so I'll help you through the process. I'll follow up with you regarding the next steps. It's a pretty handheld process. And then either Robert or another faculty member will interview you, at the end of the admissions process, so you can ask any deep program information then as well. But yeah, if you don't have any questions, again, to show our appreciation, we are waiving the $75 application fee for everyone attending. Please reach out to admissions@sophia.edu for any assistance you may need. Just keep in mind we work on the quarter system, so our next intake is for the winter 2025 quarter, starting on January 13th. And the application deadline is December 16th. So thank you everybody for attending tonight. I hope you found it informative and enjoyed the opportunity to meet our staff and faculty. Have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Bye all. Bye, Elizabeth.
Bye everyone. Bye.